welcome. So this is your last day of school, which is so exciting. You made it. You made it to the end of your freshman year, and you should be really, really proud. It has been a roller coaster for you. There's been a lot that's happened this year, and you're almost done, which is excellent. I hope you still enjoy this summer as much as you normally do, even though you've already been home for 2 months. I still hope you really enjoy not having to do schoolwork and getting outside a little more, and hopefully being able to see some of your friends safely soon. So, just a couple of quick announcements. To turn in your library book, you need to go to school between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Those are the hours the front doors are open, and you can turn in any library books, any textbooks, any English books that you still have. There are some bins inside of the front door of the school. Late work. Today is the last day for late work. I'm not taking anything after Wednesday, so if you owe me anything, please be sure I get it. And that's it on the updates. So to talk to you a little bit about what the last day looks like whenever we are in school. When we're in school, what I normally do is I go around and I talk to each person individually and I just tell them what I appreciate about them. And I still want to do that because I really do appreciate you guys. And this video is specifically for sixth hour. I really appreciate you. You have a special place in my heart. And so I'm still going to do it. So I'm going to go through the roster and I'm going to say a couple of quick things about each person. So somewhere in this video, you will be mentioned, and it goes quickly. You can fast forward until you find yourself if you want. It's alphabetical by last name. Or you can watch the whole thing. It's kind of fun to hear about everybody else too. And your friends are in your class, at least people you know. So let me pull this down and get the grade book. So you can't see it, but I can. Let's take a drink of this giant water real quick. Okay. So at the very beginning, we have Hersan. Hersan, I really got to know a lot about you this year, especially when we got to the end and we did that poetry assignment. And you made me so proud, and I was just so full of admiration for you during that assignment. And I loved learning more about you throughout the year, and I love how you embrace others. You are a really, really great kid. Rohan, Rohan, you're a really funny guy. I liked having you in class. I really loved getting to know you and the multiple sides of you. You are studious, you are funny, you are friendly, you're a very well-rounded person who I called Rowan a lot. But that's not your name, it's Rohan. And I'm never going to forget that now. And I am really grateful that I got to know you. Colin Crandall, you have the best questions. Your mind is really deep. You are very thoughtful, and we all benefited from having you in our class. Allie, I connected with you early on this year, Allie, because you had just had a little sibling, and so I could relate to that because I had a little baby at home. And I really loved getting to know you this year, and your bubbly personality. You're incredibly friendly, and I'm really glad that you were in our class. Emily Davis. Emily, you were very studious when you were in class with us, and you're incredibly friendly with your group of girls. You are bubbly and you are easygoing. Your easygoingness was really soothing for me, and it's definitely something that I need to learn from. Justin, you drove me crazy, but I like you. I think that you are full of energy, and that is something that is really admirable because a lot of teenagers don't have that energy anymore. I know that if you channel that energy into good things, that you're going to go awesome places. Maddie D, Madison Duffy, you were just this quiet sponge. You soaked up all of the knowledge. You are an incredible listener, and we should all wish to be as good of a listener as you are. You pay a great attention to detail, and you have some excellent academic qualities and personal qualities. You listen more than you speak, and that is something that we should all benefit from and learn from. Jordan, first of all, Jordan, I loved that Halloween snack pack. I don't know why I think about it often. It was just so sweet and unexpected. And when you gave me that little Halloween pack, I was actually having a pretty bad morning. And you just changed my perspective. Just something so small. And I loved that. It really stuck with me that day. You telling me that you appreciated me. And I appreciate you too, Jordan. You are incredibly respectful, and we don't see that a lot in teenage students. And I loved your respectfulness. I completely lost my place. Hallie. Hallie, I love how inquisitive you are. Your questions are frequent and deep. And I think that that is the sign of someone who is an excellent learner, and you really should hold on to that and continue that. And I think it's just in your nature, and it's beautiful how inquisitive you are. Emily H., I also had you in advisory, and it was one of the best setups for me because that meant on B days, I saw you for half of my day, and I was all about it. I have a lot to learn from you. You are really deep in the way that you see the world and the way that you experience it. And I like that about you a lot. I'm so grateful that we got to spend half of our day together every other day of the week. It was great. Jake, you're also really inquisitive. You ask great questions and you care a great deal about doing well. And because you care so much about doing well, you do. And you are so ingrained to be successful that I know that you will be. You're a really great kid, a really great student. Logan, you are funny. You always found a way to laugh at something, even if it wasn't funny. And I think that lightheartedness was so sweet and so nice. Braden, I had you in like a million of my other classes. I swear, you transferred from class to class to class, but I loved it because that meant that I got to see you and I'm talking about Braden Jones, not Braden W. And Braden, that meant that I got to see you in multiple environments, interacting with multiple groups of people, and I got to see all these different sides of you. So I saw the shy side, and I saw the outgoing side, and I saw the athletic side when you were in the class of athletes. And all of these sides together just make this really well-rounded kid who I greatly admire. Kellen, you and I had this really fun back and forth kind of sassy relationship, and I like it. I think that you are a really great person, and your ability to find the lightheartedness in everything, and your ability to do well. I mean, all those things are some of the best traits that anyone could have, being lighthearted and being determined. And I think that you are a great example of both of those things. Harshini, your mom makes the best snacks. I loved her treats. Those were so fun. You are an incredibly respectful and determined and considerate person. And those things will take you so far. I appreciate how much you respected our class, how much you always dug for more information. And I know that your academic career and your personal career, just you as a person, your emotional well-being, I know that you are just going to grow up and you are just going to flourish. Natalie, Natalie, you have so many different sides to you. You're like an onion. You're this beautiful onion. Natalie, I really appreciate that you are kind. You were always kind to me, always really concerned about your grades. You wanted to do well, and I love that about you. And girl, you are a talker. You love to talk. But I think that's great. It's wonderful to be a social butterfly because you get to experience these friendships with so many different people. Aiden, I'm so glad that you were in my class, Aiden, for a million reasons. I was really glad to get to know you as a hard worker and a respectful student and someone who just has their feet on the ground, someone who really is grounded and just will really just explore the world both emotionally and academically. You are just a really well-rounded kid. And I also benefited from knowing your brother too. And I love getting to teach sets of siblings. And it was really cool to see how both of you have those really similar traits. It was awesome. Stella, that's two sibling kids back to back. Stella, I also taught your sister. Stella, I loved getting to see how how do I even phrase this? I'm not even sure how to phrase it. Just how fastidious you are. Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, whether it is being a friend with someone or being a group member or being a student or being an academic, you will stop at nothing. You will stop at nothing to get what you need. So if you know that you need to work really, really hard on this one paper, you will work on that paper day in and day out until that paper is perfect. And those traits about you are so deep. And I'm really appreciative of what a hard student you are and how dedicated you are to learning. Maddie M. Madison McDougald. I learned so much about you through that poetry assignment at the end of the year, and it was beautiful. And I am so glad that we had you in our class. You were funny and quietly funny and determined, and you opened up to us, and that's it. That's what we need in the world. That's what we need in our class, is that openness. Megan, you are a great student. You ask so many questions and you really care. And you are also really good at debating. You would have been great at this rhetoric unit. But Megan, we all benefited from having you in class. Carson, this whole class is full of hard workers. I swear, I'm saying all of you are hard workers because it's true. So now we reach Carson Morgan. Carson, you are just a good kid, man. You're a good person. I love how you equally loved your friends and paid attention in school. So you never put socializing above academics. For you, they were equal. They were equal concern. And I think that balance is what we all need. You joked around with your friends, you had a good time, but you also got your work done. And that balance is so hard for us to find. And Carson, we really admire that in you. Anya, you are so talented, both academically and artistically. And I have no idea where you are headed in your life, but I'm excited to see where that is. Lauren, I really loved getting to know you this year. Again, you are someone who I had their sibling before, and it's interesting to see how different the two of you are. Lauren, your quietness was something that I really soaked up. It's so nice to have quiet students every now and then, but I know that outside of class, you weren't necessarily a quiet person. But you were an amazing student. You always got your work done, and I was really appreciative of that. Titus, you are so respectful. I don't know what it was, but from the beginning of the year, I just appreciated how respectful you were. You always said thank you and have a good day. And it's those little things that go a really long way. And I bet you that your mama taught you to be respectful, and you should tell her that I said thank you. Zachary. Zach, I loved having you as a student. You were really quiet in class, but really loud when you were not in class, like in the hallways or when you would ask me questions outside of class. And I loved seeing those two different sides to you. I think that you are just a really cool kid. And you also have a lot of layers to you. I'm really excited to see where tennis takes you and where your career with that is headed. But I'm really grateful that I got to know a little bit more about you and your life. Kristen W., I feel like I related to you a lot in how seriously you take English. I don't know if you're like that with all of your classes, but you responded in your work and your essays the way that I would have responded. You think about how characters act and why they act that way. And that's the sign of someone who's really emotionally well-rounded. And I feel like I had a lot of those traits when I was a student. I really cared about the characters. And so I just felt like all year long I related to you. I really looked forward to reading your work, and I know you're going to continue to produce really great work. Kate, I love you, girl. Kate, there's something about your energy that just draws me to you. You are a comfort for me in class, Kate. Your vibe, I don't even have words other than energy and vibe. There's something about your vibe that makes me relax. Having you around made me, as a teacher and just as a human, relax. And I really benefited from that. I don't know if it is, how you were raised or if it is your faith, but your positivity on life is contagious. And I thank you so much for being in my life. Braden W., I really liked having you in class. You are such a good kid. You're such a good person. You work hard, you get your things done. And even though, English was not your favorite subject, I'm sure that's the case for a lot of you. You still worked really hard in my class, and you volunteered and you talked to your group members. And I got to watch you in the play. You were the reason I went to the play, was to watch you. And you did such a good job. And I was just so enamored. I was just so thrilled for you. So excellent. And I think that's it. I think that's the whole roster. I might have missed someone on accident. And let me tell you, if you are the person that I missed and you want a personal video, honestly, nothing would make me happier. I would love to. So if I missed you, email me. I already see one. Oh, I already see one. Madeline, how could I have done that? I skipped straight from Zachary to Kristen. Madeline T. Girl, you are so adult. I feel like you are an adult in a teenager's body. You make decisions logically and rationally, and you really care about your work. You really care about doing the right thing and staying on task. And I think that those things are so cool. I loved getting to know a little bit more about your faith. It was really interesting to learn that side of you. And it was really great to get to know your mom and you. So I'm really glad I had you. So now I think that I have had everyone. I don't think I skipped anyone except for Madeline, but we will see. Be sure to email me if I did, so that way I can give you your own personal, I'm just double checking. Yeah, so I can give you your own personal video. So that's it. Email me if you have any questions about book returns or late work. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a good summer. 7th hour. This is not 7th hour, 6th hour. You mean a lot to me. All right. Bye, you guys.